Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are playing around with our dashboard right now. We've made these little panels and we have these statistics and all that stuff. But what we haven't really done is done much with this kiosk stuff. And so if you think about it, and I'm going to allow you to do, obviously it's your program, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to let you do whatever you want in terms of styling and things like that. But we're going to do a few of the basic things to make this work more like a kiosk. Like, you don't want to see logos and menus and all that kind of stuff on a kiosk. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some things that are not obvious. And so I don't expect that you would really have any idea how to do what we're about to do, but I'm going to walk you through the process and kind of show you why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if I drag in the code and we're on the check balance page, you'll see there's two things here. There's the init file, which, let's just poke around with that for a second. If you go to users and then init.php, you can see, I gotta scroll past that, you can see that in here is a lot of the stuff that's like, we're automatically loading things, we're starting your sessions, we are connecting to the database, we're setting your cookies, all that kind of stuff happens just automatically, setting the time zone. This needs to happen on every single page, kind of regardless of what you're doing. I'm going to shut these other couple ones. So what we have is this init file is absolutely important. You can't connect to the database or anything if that's not there. But the next thing is your template prep. And so if we were to go into our template manager, in fact, we can do that, and you can see if you go here to tools and templates, and right now we are on the BS4 template, but if we come here to superhero and come back to the dashboard, we've changed the look and feel of the entire site. That is horrendous looking. We've changed the look and feel of the entire site there, and all of that stuff happens because we load these templates up. And so really, if you think about it, on this type of, was I on that template? That doesn't look the same, does it? If I go here, sorry, I was on the wrong one. If I go to tools, templates, and simplex, that's the one we were on. So if I go there and come to this thing, you don't want to really see this stuff. But the problem is, if I just get rid of the file that causes that, then everything breaks. In fact, we'll come here, we'll take a look. I will control/that, and then we're going to reload the page, and you'll see that we get all kinds of errors. We don't have a variable called settings, and we need it. We don't have information about the template. Our footer's messed up. Everything's messed up. So what do? Let's take a look at this thing, and if we were to come to this file here, you'll see users includes template and prep. So if we come here to users includes template folder and prep, you'll see that basically what this is doing is this file is making our connection to the database. It is getting a list of all the settings, and then it is getting some information about the header and the navigation and all that kind of stuff from the template. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy all this stuff in place of including this one file. So basically, if I replace this with this, it's the exact same thing because that other line was just coming here to get this. So if I were to, I've saved the thing and I refresh the page, all of a sudden everything works. So, all right, that's a start. The problem is we still have the navigation that we don't want. And so what we want to do is we want to come in here and we want to control right click and comment out the navigation. So now we're loading the header and this container thing, but we're not loading the navigation. So let's see what's going to happen now. If I refresh the page, great. We have a clean slate. We could do F11 and we would have basically a full page here. There's only one problem. If I scan this thing, then we're not going to get any kind of message at the top. Now, if you look here, you'll see the message is actually in the URL bar by doing error. I'm going to scan that one more time so you can see. It's doing it's doing this that thing right there. It's doing this error equals and doing your balance, but there's nothing here to tell it to put that information up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a little bit of a function or a little bit of a snippet of code to make that feature work. So basically what there is a function in UserSpice called error, ERR, and that's what does that red text at the top of the page. So the first thing we want to know is we want to take whatever is in that variable. So if I were to just come in here and type error equals this, we want to know what is in this error variable. So we're going to do this. We're going to say error equals input get error. Okay, so we have a lot going on here. We've created a variable called error, and we are telling it to get whatever is in the URL after the word error. Now, to make things a little bit more confusing, there is already a function called error in UserSpice. And so error is the function that makes that red text come up. So we have a variable, we have the get variable that's in the URL, and now we have this function. So there's three things kind of working together. So what we want to say here is if error not equals like this, if it's not empty, if there's something in it, then we want to take the error function and put that text in there. And so basically where it says here your balance is $14.50, we're going to pass that to the error function so that it can put that in there in red text. So we're going to come back here and we're going to refresh the page, and now I'm going to scan another tag, and you're going to see that that function is back. So now at this point, basically everything we need to have a kiosk is working. So what we could do is let's try to keep all this code in the same area, because we're going to want to do this for every single kiosk we have. So in fact, let's come in here and let's say kiosk code. So we're going to go kiosk code like this, and then we're going to keep all these lines together here. In fact, we can get rid of this thing because we're not going to need it anymore, and we can drop this down here, and then we can take this whole snippet of code here and put it here, and then we're going to say end kiosk code. So this is what it takes to replace that line that we got rid of that used to be up here, to basically get rid of all the navigation and still have everything else work. So let's think about it. Now, what we might want to do is do a little bit more styling. And so we might not get it all done in this video, but let's close our PHP tags for a second, and we'll reopen it down here so this one works. Like we can make that all in one line. Okay, so now we can do stuff like style, and this is totally up to you to decide, you know, how you want to do this. But you could do body, I think would be a good one. Background color black, semicolon. And now we've made that black, and we could come in here and let's see. So we have this thing here. We have this column small 3. So basically what we're doing is making this just real simple thing. What if we come back here in the next video and make some kind of card or something? We'll make a bigger input box for that. So let's think about it. So one of the things with coding that they say, and I'm not going to always adhere to this in this class, but one of the things they say in coding is keep your code dry. Okay, and what they mean by dry is, I should get that out of PHP. What they mean by dry is don't repeat yourself. So sometimes we're going to repeat ourselves in this class because it's just the easier thing for you to visualize what's going on. But ideally, when you're coding, you don't want to repeat yourself. And so we have the option to come in here and take this snippet of code that we just made, this little thing here, and what did we do in the last video? We went to views, and I guess we could do views. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do views. I don't care. That's fine. So we're going to go to views, and we're going to make a new file, and we're going to do underscore kiosk mode.php. And now I have to open up my PHP tags. So now what I've done is I've made it so that all we have to do in this file is, we can take the same code, we can do include or require once. In this situation it's not going to really matter, but we can do views and then kiosk mode.php. And so now if we refresh this, that should still work. So all of our stuff, and you'll see here, if I were to comment this line out and save the page, everything would break loose again. Nothing would work. Well, our black thing would work, but we wouldn't have this functionality at the top to, when I scan the thing, like none of that would work. But now, if I come in here and comment this back in, oops, wrong one. We've done all the things to make a kiosk mode work without actually breaking the page. So now we have the red text up there and everything. And in fact, I'm guessing whatever styling we do on one page, we're going to want to do on the other. So let's take this and copy it. And then we're going to come over here to kiosk mode and we're going to close our PHP tags. And we're even just going to stick that right in there, where any styling we do for all of our kiosk pages. And the advantage of this is that if we do it one place, it's going to change for every single kiosk. So we have a nice, neat, you do one line of code, and all of a sudden you have your full kiosk mode. So we can even bring this back up here, and we've got our 3 lines of PHP. So if I were to come over here and copy this, then what I can do is go to our argument settler, which had that same line about template prep, and I can just Control V and replace this with kiosk mode. And now when I come home, I'm gonna have to hit back a couple times. When I hit, I have to hit back a lot of times. Let's just do it this way. Now when I go to the argument settler, then I have my kiosk mode. Now obviously we need to do some styling and all that kind of stuff, but we'll do that in the next video. So thanks for watching.